Okay, Dallas Mavericks, 38 wins.
More.
Shit, they strengthened the hell out their roster. So
I don't even think we got.
They'll be over.
Hey, I will say this though. I'm not too big on Lively offensively. But
he's not the best offensively. He's not. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Lively, because I have a homie that's a Mavericks fan, and he was saying something about that to me, and I was like, he's not the best offensively. He showed some flashes at Duke here and there, but they're not really gonna need him for that. They need him to be more of an anchor. They need him to be a great screener for Luka. They need him to be the guy that's. I guess best thing you could say is Kayvon Looney type of role, like he's good for that kind of role. But if you're asking him to score,
I think it's because I'm being a little bit biased. I seen him play in Vegas, and every time I seen him play in Vegas, I just wasn't like amazed of anything he did defensively, offensively. Like I just wasn't like, eh.
I mean, a lot of people say it's gonna take a couple years for him to really like. Who he's projected to be. So I don't expect him to be effective off the rip.
60 wins, you can fucking
60 wins. You're talking about the Timberwolves, bro.
Yo,
talking about the Wolves.
I want to look at.
Here's the thing though. With this team though, that I like. No. Why are you showing your screen?
Because Night Tracker asked us to pull up the roster for the Dallas Mavericks, so I just wanted to pull up for the people out there. That's it. Go ahead, Trill.
Well, but like if we're looking at it. Jaden Hardy, been sold on him. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. He's a crazy kid.
Jason Kidd.
Been sold on him. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Josh Green, he's coming into his own great defender. I
love him.
He might be able to guard 1 through 4. I won't quite say 5, but with that 6'7" frame, guard a lot of guys. 4 is probably a stretch. You're right, but for sure 1 through 3. Great defender, doing it all. But then they bring back Maxi Kleber. He's not injured anymore. Great shooter for this team. You need to stretch the floor, especially with Luka on the floor. But they brought back Seth Curry, and I think that was an underrated pickup.
Love that.
Hey, Seth, Steph, let me say something, right? So the Maxi Kleber, the reason why it's so good is because he's not the only center out there. The problem was he was the only center out there with Dwight Powell, right? So, like, he'd be like, but you brought in players like Rashard Holmes. You brought in players like Dereck Lively. So it's just like, he's gonna play his role now at that 4 position to space the floor, even 5. You see, I like that.
Listen, bro. The Mavericks. I think in the beginning of their offseason, it was kind of shaky, but like to end off the offseason, this roster isn't bad. Now I'm gonna be honest, Night Tracker.
What the fuck? I'll tell you right now. At the big position,
I'll tell you their weakness. Right now. Y'all have Dante Exum on your fucking payroll. That's a weakness.
Hey,
there's a weakness right there.
Big.
If y'all get 50 wins, I'll delete
Night Tracker might be as crazy as JELSON.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
They got Grant Williams too, bro. Don't sleep.
John, you could have easily.
Don't hate on my Australian.
You could have said defensively,
bro.
You said what? You said what, Trent?
You could have said 3 and D. I think that they don't have the greatest bigs, but they still worked on it. Like,
no, they definitely worked on it, but no, because I'm responding to Night Tracker. He said, "Where's the weakness in this new roster?" And I think the weakness is in that big position. It was great to get Lively, it was great to get Rashard Holmes, and I think that's going to be big, but that's not enough of a jump. And the risk they took on Kyrie, bro. Literally, remember they got rid of Dorian Finney-Smith and they got rid of Spencer Dinwiddie, who was a vital part of what made this team so good. And they got ready for Kyrie, and now it's just still not good enough. I don't even think.
I think you could easily say defensively though, like 3 and D. Like I think that's their main weakness. They haven't really addressed that.
I think Dante Exum can do what Frank Ntilikina was doing for him.
That's true.
I'm not gonna lie, Frank is nasty, bro.
But we're gonna move on because we do still have this last topic.